Primeira empresa japonesa a criar uma reserva de tesouros em Bitcoin faz apresentação em Las Vegas. Dando uma passada rapidinha por aqui antes de cair na água, para deixar um vídeo muito interessante para vocês. Porque esse pode ser o começo da adoção em massa do Bitcoin por empresas japonesas. E você precisa ficar ligado nelas, porque o potencial é incrível. Depois de assistir a entrevista de Gerovich hoje, gostaria de resumir alguns pontos-chave da perspectiva de um investidor japonês. A emissão de ações da MetaPlanet para a compra de Bitcoin é estrategicamente calculada. A equipe tem um entendimento claro dos princípios básicos por trás da estratégia de múltiplos do Net Asset Value. E como resultado, eles não emitem novas ações frequentemente. Ao manter um múltiplo alto, eles minimizam a diluição e aumentam significativamente a confiança do investidor. Atualmente, muitos bancos propuseram ofertas de títulos conversíveis à MetaPlanet, mas a empresa recusou. E o principal motivo é evitar operações de arbitragem por parte de traders, que normalmente se envolvem em hedge de delta, basicamente operando a descoberto para compensar o risco. Em vez disso, a MetaPlanet prefere trabalhar apenas com investidores majoritariamente com posições compradas. Essa abordagem demonstra um forte alinhamento entre a administração e os acionistas, o que eu apoio plenamente. E a MetaPlanet está planejando emitir ações preferenciais no Japão. Essa é uma decisão inteligente, visto que as taxas de juros no Japão são ridiculamente mais baixas que nos Estados Unidos. Realizar esse financiamento localmente poderia reduzir seu custo de capital em pelo menos 40% ou mais. E no final da entrevista, Simon mencionou que acredita que o desempenho da empresa eventualmente superará o do próprio Bitcoin. Essa declaração aumenta ainda mais a confiança dos investidores. Segue a entrevista do CEO da MetaPlanet na conferência de Bitcoins em Las Vegas.
Good morning. I'm Simon Gerovich, president of MetaPlanet. A year ago, we were running a struggling hotel company in Japan. And today we've become Asia's leading Bitcoin treasury company and the top performing listed equity in the world in 2024. This is the story of how we did it and why Bitcoin is the future, I believe, of corporate finance. Now let's be honest, the global financial system is broken. Fixed income markets are starving for real yield, and while equity markets appear strong, many are flashing warning signs, with stretched valuations, policy uncertainty, and growing investor anxiety. In Japan, decades of artificially cheap capital have kept zombie firms alive, distorting markets and freezing innovation. The Nikkei only recently surpassed its 1980s highs, and that's stagnation, not growth. As a company, we looked at this and asked, where can you build long-term value when every system is stacked against you? So we flipped the model. Instead of measuring success in yen or in earnings per share, we made Bitcoin our core reserve asset and began measuring value in BTC per share. Everything we do, equity issuance, strategic debt, and operation, flows into a single goal, increasing Bitcoin per share. Now, traditional businesses measure ROI in years. We measure in hours. No earnings risk, no credit risk, no debasement risk. Bitcoin lets us compress investment cycles from decades into only days. This agility is what makes a Bitcoin treasury company so powerful. Now, in just over a year, we went from 0 to 7,800 Bitcoin. BTC NAV is up 123x, and our market cap up 300x. But this is more than just performance. We offer high volatility, tax efficient, pure play exposure to Bitcoin through a fully compliant vehicle in Japan. Bitcoin is our unit of account. Every decision, every raise, every metric flows back into it. So how are we doing so far? In 2025, our BTC yield is 189%. We set a full year target of 232%, based on 35% compounding per quarter. We issued that guidance when our year-to-date yield was still 0. And now we're executing so quickly that even that target looks conservative. Very few companies globally are compounding value at this pace and at this scale. This is what disciplined execution looks like. Each capital raise adds to the last, steadily increasing Bitcoin per share. It's a compounding effect, and it reflects our long-term focus on BTC per share growth. Now, to make this possible, we engineered a breakthrough financing tool, the 210 million plan. It was built around moving strike warrants, our version of the US ATM equity offering structure. And in just 60 days, we raised 93 billion yen, nearly $600 million US, at effectively a 0% discount to the market price. It was our most recent financing, and it directly drove a 189% BTC yield over just 60 trading days. Our 210 million plan was but phase one, and that was only one tool in our arsenal. We want to develop full capital markets stack for Bitcoin, equity, converts, and preferreds. Our aim is to give investors with different risk-return profiles access to Bitcoin-linked returns, and most importantly, to create access where today there is none. We believe Japan is ready for products it has never seen before, and we want to lead in that transformation. Now, this chart shows the progression of our equity capital raising efforts over the past year. Now, since adopting the Bitcoin standard, we raised nearly $800 million with equity, steadily and with increasing confidence from the market. Each successful round built on the last, allowing us to scale responsibly while staying aligned with our strategic goals. It reflects a growing level of trust in our model and also in our discipline. Now, MNAV matters, but the real signal isn't the level, it's the volatility and the velocity. Volatility drives up re-ratings, that unlocks capital, and that accelerates Bitcoin accumulation. Velocity, we're seeing unmatched turnover across Japan and Germany, and $300 million OTC market days in the US last week. The market gets it now. We use capital to grow BTC per share with discipline and with scale. That's why we believe the premium to NAV is not just justified, it's earned. Now, this is the holy grail of Bitcoin treasury metrics. What you're seeing here is our share price versus NAV per share, and how quickly we catch up to the valuation that the market has assigned us. Roughly every 125 days, our NAV per share catches up to where the stock was trading at that time. Now, compare that to the NASDAQ, where investors are paying 10 years, 20 years, 30 years of forward expectations. I believe Bitcoin treasury companies are deeply misunderstood and grossly undervalued compared to most traditional business models. Now, most companies fear volatility, but we harness it. Volatility creates pricing gaps, investor emotion, and capital flows, and we're engineered to capture all of it. In Bitcoin, volatility isn't a bug, it's a signal, it's energy, it's our fuel. It powers the flywheel, and it accelerates BTC accumulation. And most importantly, it serves as a magnet for capital. MetaPlanet is operating a volatility engine. Bitcoin volatility, Tokyo limit up halts, 20 plus hours a day of trading around the globe. It feeds into our edge. This is second order volatility, the volatility of the valuation itself. It amplifies our ability to raise and deploy capital, accelerating BTC accumulation. And we're optimizing for a common stock vehicle with higher volatility and superior performance to Bitcoin itself. Now, this is the clearest expression of our execution. Bitcoin per share is roughly doubling right now every 90 days. That pace will eventually taper, but we're still firmly in our exponential phase, and we have no intention of taking our foot off the gas. We view our valuation through a forward-looking lens, just like any equity market investor would. In our view, MNAV is an expression of the market's expectations for future Bitcoin growth. It reflects how investors anticipate our balance sheet will evolve based on the execution of our Bitcoin treasury operations and the contribution of our operating business. It's not just about what we hold today, it's about what we're building toward. Now, Japan is yield-starved. Investors there are hungry for structured products that offer returns, volatility, and transparency. And right now, that demand is going unmet. MetaPlanet is a company built to feed that hunger with a fortress balance sheet, extreme liquidity, and the highest volatility of any listed equity in Japan. And we believe we can build the capital markets layer that Japan has been waiting for. Now look at this comparison. US converts cluster around 5% coupons, but in Japan, they're flatlined at 0. The Japanese market is starved for issuers with volatility and liquidity. Now, if we ever decide to issue a convertible, we believe MetaPlanet paper would be in extremely high demand. And given our volatility profile, it isn't out of the question that we could even issue these convertible bonds at negative interest rates. Japan's preferred equity market is almost non-existent, just 4 listed issues in the entire market. There's a massive opportunity to create structured Bitcoin-linked instruments that don't exist yet. And with the right partners, the right investors, and the right vision, we believe we can redefine the market from the ground up. Now, this is what a Bitcoin treasury balance sheet should look like. High BTC rating, minimal debt, and a clean capital structure. Investors can track everything right now, from our public Bitcoin addresses to our MNAV to leverage and BTC yield, in real time through our public dashboard. Transparency, we believe, is our competitive edge. Now, we started this journey with just over 10,000 shareholders. Today, we're approaching 64,000. And that number is likely understated due to pooled accounts at various brokers. MetaPlanet has become the most tax-efficient way for Japanese retail investors to get exposure to Bitcoin, and our goal is to become the most held stock in Japan. And we're honored and humbled by the growing interest from investors around the world, and especially all of our new shareholders right here in the United States. MetaPlanet is Japan's only publicly listed regulated vehicle dedicated exclusively to Bitcoin. We give domestic investors secure, tax-efficient entry point into the Bitcoin economy. And the market has noticed. As I said, we're the most volatile stock in Japan. We're the most traded on the OTC markets in the US, and we trade about 100 hours a week in 3 different jurisdictions. And our platform marries capital markets access with institutional discipline, fully aligned with the world's most powerful open source brand that is Bitcoin. Now, just like Bitcoin, many people struggle to process our growth in linear terms. MetaPlanet's market cap is up 300x in the last 13 months, and our treasury is worth 55 times our market cap when we first announced the Bitcoin standard. And this is the power of laser-focused execution, and it's all quantifiable in Bitcoin terms. Finally, to close, this was our shareholder meeting just 1 month into the Bitcoin standard. Empty chairs, quiet room, and a company still finding its voice. We had made the leap, but the world hadn't noticed. There was conviction, but no crowd. And this is just 1 year later. Standing room only, a room full of Bitcoiners, shareholders, and supporters, all eager to learn, contribute, and be part of something bigger. The community found us, and the mission became real. From 20 people last year to this, that's the Bitcoin effect, and this is just the beginning. Thank you very much.